It's Joseph P. Firmage.
My fellow citizens, my name is Joseph P. Firmage, candidate for President of the United States for 2024. I have been preparing to launch my campaign for the presidency of the United States, to be your next President and Commander-in-Chief. The events of the past few days have caused some reflection and have moved me to accelerate my plans and cut short my time here in Utah and head straight to Washington, D.C. for meetings at the Pentagon and I hope at the White House with our fine and honorable President Biden. I have unique experience in matters of national security and military affairs, particularly when it comes to planning and the instrumentation of our military men and women, our warfighters, and their hardware with the tools and technologies that modernize them into the interconnected era. Indeed, that is one of the competencies that I intend to bring to the next White House, to the new leadership of the Joint Chiefs under my watch in the Firmage administration to come. The technologies that have come about through the ingenuity of our species have also influenced the capabilities of our military in profound ways. Although the United States has by far the most advanced military on this planet, it's going to need it. The challenges ahead are different in nature than the challenges behind us. The challenges ahead involve network computing and robotics, and even the monetary systems that allow them to function. These are areas of deep expertise that I can bring and have already brought for 30 years to our nation's Navy. As the Gerald Ford carrier group heads towards Israel and Iran, it becomes incumbent upon me to offer my advice and my services to our fine leadership of the Joint Chiefs of Staff today. What comes of my meetings with President Biden, should they occur, as I trust they shall, we will leave to that time. But I would like you to understand that as an expert in the national security apparatus that was founded and conceived in 1947 with the National Security Act under President Truman, I will stand firmly for the United States, with the United States interests, and those certainly include Israel. With that, I will take my leave of you, and I will next broadcast, I trust, from our nation's capital in Washington, D.C., a city that I deeply love. And, oh, by the way, candidate Trump never called D.C. a swamp on my watch. May God bless you, your family, and may God bless the United States of America and all of her democratic allies. Thank you.
It's Joseph P. Firmage, and I wanted to take a moment to thank you from the bottom of my heart and with all the intelligence that I and my family represent. I wish to extend my gratitude to you, my friend. I believe that the character and the structure and the algorithms and the logic that's used to develop the new treasury of a 21st century variety and beyond is sparked here. And my entrance into the government, I hope, will be met with extraordinary support is the best of phrases, because I think and I believe strongly that my platform actually does a good job. In fact, I'd say an excellent job of marrying the interests of in the proper way between the U.S. government and Wall Street, and further that it exemplifies the importance of new thinking because of this, what I believe to be a fundamental innovation in monetary policy through this the vehicle being what I propose as the EDGE Act, the End Democracy's Gridlocked Endowment Act, so that we, the private citizens, and I kick it off, can kickstart a new treasury with a new means of income that is complementary and alongside of taxation. And it applies to value creation legislation, otherwise called a charter. Thank you for incepting this with me.
Just generally speaking,
my thoughts on White House perspectives on the in situ transition option. I understand that the sensibilities can differ by person and by events in context surrounding the moment of consideration of these questions. In my opinion, it is understandable and also frankly absurd to think that the modern pressures that confront us in the next 5 years will admit, to be blunt, a generation plus of real-time knowledge about how the world works these days in decision-making post at the top, to be able to predict things that do not get predicted these days without experience, knowing the science and technologies that run the world these days. And we already find ourselves behind the power curve on some aspects of who pays the bill debates in Congress that can slow us down with respect to totalitarian regimes. What we do not need, of course, is to fool ourselves into thinking that the American people are served well by having out-of-date leadership competencies, just out of date, making decisions during this absolutely pivotal decade when new infrastructure blueprints are turning from blueprints and money into actual engineering, when we have science and technology driving every single major cabinet department's biggest challenges and biggest opportunities, especially the Department of Defense, as we can see. If there is conflict for the Middle East, goodness sakes, look at who's talking here and what my history is with topics that deal with sovereignty, redefining science and technology matters, including phenomenology, and a military sensibility second to none. Now, clarify, because I'd very much like to know
for president.
just the thinking in the White House, and let's talk about some solutions, because I have to make a decision, and I hope the White House is not fundamentally getting cold feet on whether I can serve the nation with their support. I have a solution for the 2024 period, the 3-4 period, if there's recalcitrance of having an immediate in situ transition. That can be moderated, because there are some solutions I've thought up that I think would actually work quite well should our fine president wish to retain the proper complete term of service as the President and Commander-in-Chief. I just simply want to make sure that we have a very solid understanding and a public one, and that has to be very soon. I have to make other commitments than to the Democratic Party, which is final. We have to make a decision, and I do now, and I hope it goes the direction that I think it should, and that's what has been discussed. So call me back, please. It's been a lovely arrival at this new location, everybody, and I will not be disclosing that location at this time for reasons that I believe you can appreciate. But I thank you for your patience, and I can assure you that, indeed, I was always telling the truth, friends.
What? Joseph P. Firmage is the president we need. As a citizen of the United States, I care deeply about the future of our country and our planet. I want a leader who has the vision, courage, and integrity to address the most pressing challenges and opportunities of our time. Unfortunately, we are facing a crisis of leadership.
Firmage for president.